Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary, and we're looking for trades as always on Friday morning. It's now 10 past 8, and I've been looking at this euro yen. I'm looking for a potential short trade, believe it or not. I'll show you why in a second, but I'm looking for a bit of an overrun of this band. See if we can get up to the 5-minute 50 in that 21. So up to that zone. So I'm looking for an overrun, and if we can do that and get up to sort of 55 to 60, then I'll start to put some trades in with a stop at the higher 80. Now, the market, the yen has had such a big run overnight. I've got to keep my eye on that. So on this chart, but it's had such a big run overnight. This is an hourly chart. It's just put a bearish engulfing candlestick. It's almost it's actually no, it's a key reversal candlestick. It's put in there on the hourly chart. And if we look at the daily chart, you can see it's obviously now come out of that trend channel line, which so often they just want to do an overthrow, and at some point it want to come back into the trend channel. Doesn't have to come in obviously yet, but as we've got a little key reversal on the hourly chart, then I'm interested in that. And also if I go to a weekly chart, look at how expanded it is on the weeklies. So it is overextended. It doesn't mean to say that it can't just go up and make new highs again, but considering on the hourly charts we've had some indecision there for the last 3 hours. Doji, certainly the Doji. Oh no, that was a spinning top on e-signal actually on here. Then I'm looking at this and thinking, well, for the risk to reward, if it can come up here, then for 20 pips of risk, just over 20 pips of risk it would likely be, to the potential reward, which would be at least 20 pips, then it's probably worthwhile taking the trade. So that's how I'm viewing that one at the moment, but we'll just press pause and wait and see if it sets up. Now I need to get myself all ready and stuff. It's only early in the morning, so I'm going to actually put some limit orders in. So I'm going to put a limit order in at 125.59, so I'll just under 125.60 and see if I can get filled up there. So I'll put 4 in. So it's going to be a sell limit at 125.59. So I'll put. Sorry, you can't see all of that, can you? There it is. Place order, and I'll put 4 in. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've put 4 orders in. I'll just see if I can get filled whilst I'm getting ready, rather than me hanging around waiting for price to actually do it and hit it live, so to speak. So I'll just get the stops sorted out, and I'll be back in a bit. Just back, literally just back, and to see that it's filled me on a short and it's gone whack. I think actually if I'd have seen it, if I'd have been here, let's just get this out of the way. Let's just show you the account. There you go, square at 907. But I think what's happened is it came down and then it's come all the way back up. I think by the time it came back up there, that's not the same sort of setup I was looking for. But having said that, it's come up a bit higher. Put this. Well, we'll have to see how it's gonna go. What's the time? It's just 9 o'clock now. I'm still interested to see how this is going to close. It's only just 9 o'clock. Oh no, it's just going to close on a big hourly candle actually. So we've put in a reversal, and now we've put another reversal in up here. Still interested to see what's going to happen up here, because so often once price gets to a top, it's come in, it's tested the hourly bands by looks of things, and then it's gone back up again. But quite often we're still close to a high, but obviously there's nothing I can do with this right now, so I'll just have to wait for this to set up again on the short side. But let's have a look. Yeah, because it's a mishmash of momentum, and that's why I'm not really going to be doing too much on the long side here this morning. And considering the move it's had on that hourly chart, I'm still keen to see how this is going to play itself out. And so I think I'll just have to hold off and let it run and see if it's going to roll over maybe later on. But I mean, obviously the trend is up, so I have to acknowledge that. And if the momentum starts to pick up to the upside across the board, then I'll certainly have a look at that. But I tried that trade there. It was only 20 pips, 20 pip loss, so to speak. So we'll see if something triggers later. Let's have a quick look through some of the other markets. But I'm really interested in the euro yen today, purely because it's got the bigger range. Wow, look at the euro dollar. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if I can see any momentum or anything there, because if euro dollar's got momentum, then maybe I will trade to the long side. Let's have a look. I'm looking at my momentum charts. Yes, euro dollar has momentum to the upside across the board, so I can actually trade a small long trade on the euro dollar. It's just hit its daily R3 though, so again hitting resistance. But let me press pause for a minute, just see if it's going to set up. Okay, it's just having my brekkie now, but looking at this euro dollar, so looking for, it's only going to be a small trade, unfortunately. It's not going to be anything major on the euro dollar if it sets up and does a bit more of a pullback. But actually, I'm looking at these charts and I'm looking at the euro yen charts again, and I still think that that's actually going to roll over here today. So I am still going to be looking at the euro yen for a rollover play, which would possibly mean that the euro dollar would do the same thing. But the euro yen has got the less momentum than the euro dollar at this stage anyway. So just while we're waiting here, let's have another look at that euro yen. It's shot up there, and it's just been up at 95 and just pulled back at the moment. Doesn't mean to say it can't go one leg higher, because it's got a little extreme on the 2-minute chart, which means it could want to go back up to retest that. But I will be looking for them to roll over, and it's the same sort of thing with the euro dollar here. It's got a little 2-minute extreme. If it goes up to test that, then that will be over, because we'll diverge up there. But I guess in theory I could see if I want to take the divergence on the euro yen, but I don't really like doing the divergence plays at this stage so much in the day, especially off a 2-minute chart. So I think I'm better off just being patient and waiting for the euro yen to give another sort of setup to come in play for on the short side a bit later. So let's go back to that euro dollar for now. We'll just keep our eye on that. If we can pull back to around about 136.40, then I'll have a look at that. If it goes up first, then that'll be scratch. Okay, we've got news out on the pound now, and so I'm just looking to see if this is going to come down for its daily pivot, which is down at around about 35, 158.35. So just seeing, but we've got negative momentum pretty much across the board, I think, on the pound. Let me just double check here. And on the higher time frames we do anyway, and so it's just a case of seeing, and I don't know whether I can get a setup here or not, but we're just coming up to 9:30, and we'll see if it has a flush down. I don't know whether I'll be able to get in on that one anyway, but I'm still watching this euro yen. I'm actually considering putting in a swing trade on the euro yen. I think it's so overcooked, but it would be a swing trade where I'd put a single unit in and then add every 100 pips if it took heat, and then just run it for about 400. I'd give it probably about 400 pips on that one, as it's a big swing trade it would potentially be. So I'm considering putting something like that in anyway, but the problem with that is I can't demonstrate that to you, because it's just be one that I'd have to leave in. But if I'm just seeing if the euro yen can get up to 126, then I'll put that in. I'll put that initial trade in. Let's have a look. There we go, 128.82. I think if we can get up and just break these highs and hit the round number, then I'll put my first entrance in, and then I'll put another one in at around about 127, and so on and so forth. I think it's there or thereabouts for a pullback. I've got too many indicators saying to me that it's due. And so when you're doing things like that, you just have to trade smaller. So I'd only put one single unit in, and use position management to make the trades work out, so to speak. So we'd see about that. But for the minute, just have a keep our eye on the pound. It's about to. We've got 3 seconds. Let's see what's going to happen. No, it's not. I haven't got a setup. Even if it was to flush down now, I haven't got a setup. I'll press pause for now because we're already 8 minutes into this. Just so you can see, the euro dollar itself never pulled back, and it's just consolidated sideways and it's gone up. But the euro dollar's got the better momentum out of them, so that was definitely the better one. But it just never got the pullback, so never got a setup there. So I'm still looking at euro yen. See if we can blip up here. It would probably put in a divergence. Let me have a quick look. It's nothing major though as a divergence if it's going to get there. Looks like it is going to get there. So let me just. But I'm using that as an excuse really to put a swing trade on. So euro yen. Let's see if I can get my deal ticket ready. So there's actually hardly a divergence there at the moment. Let's have a quick look at the time frames. There's a bit of a divergence on a 2-minute chart, so it's just hit that round number. So I'm actually going to put this in, but this is a swing, so 1 unit, and I'm just going to, so let's bring it across. So that's the 1 unit I've just put in, sold short at 125.98, so call it 126. It's hit, as you can see, it's already hit 126. And what I'm going to do with this, let me take you out to the daily chart, is I do think the potential is there for the euro yen to have another couple hundred pips higher, but I will just incrementally add to that position now, but not like every 5 pips or 10 pips. It's a swing trade, so I'll be looking to add on a run probably 100 pips or so higher. But so for now, there's a lot of strength. Well, certainly I say a lot of strength there. There's the trend is there to the upside, but I've got so much stuff is screaming at me that this move is almost finished. But almost finished could be another 100 200 pips higher, and that's why I'm having to position manage this. So at least I've initiated a trade there, which could run well into next week, or will likely run well into next week, and we'll see how that goes. But I mean, if it was to just roll over today and start coming down, then there could be a point where I'm 80 points up or so, and say, okay, thanks very much, that'll do on that one. But we'll see. It depends on what happens. Okay, let's press pause for now. Just come back to the pound dollar, and it has had that swipe down to 158.35. So it's just hit its daily pivot, and then just bounced off. But there was no setup. There was no way I could do anything with that. So overall on the pound at the moment, there's nothing I can do. So at this stage, it looks like I'm going to be heading down the gym soon enough. But the pound overall is on the turn. Down, that is, and is looking. I mean, it's hit that support level, so it's a major piece of support, so you have to be wary. So I can't really justify doing anything with that at the moment. But it's certainly potentially on the turn and could have more downside. But there's resistance, there's support in the way, so I can't really do much with that. And at the moment, I'm counter trending on a swing basis against the euro yen. So and what I'll do though with the euro yen is, let's assume that the euro yen was to roll over the next couple of hours and then sets up for a day trade. Then I'd start doing some day trades on it as well. So I'll have the swing trade in that one unit, and the day trade would then or the day trades would then also come into play. So that's where I am with that, and I'll certainly be looking at that. So I think I'll use this as an opportunity to nip down the gym for an hour and just see where we get to when I get back. Okay, I'm just back from the gym. Not too much has happened since I initiated that trade over there at 126. We're at 125.90. So I think I initiated at 125.98. So nothing really too much has happened. But again, that's a swing trade. But obviously, if we start to get moving, then I'm looking for day trades today. The one issue we have, obviously, if I'm looking for day trades, is, well, I tried that one earlier on this morning. Put that limit order in. We'd gone below the 5-minute 50, and I put that order in where I was hoping it was going to happen back here, but anyway, and it just blew straight through that. So that was a day trade there. Now at this point, I'd have to wait for the market to weaken off a little bit more. So like I've said, it's not really had much by way of momentum so far today, and so that's why I'm cautious of that. But we've got the big news out at 1:30, and I'm just wondering whether these markets aren't going to do too much before then. They may just drift along, maybe drift a little bit higher. But I am looking for the potential for a reversal today on euro yen, and if that does come in, then I want to see if I can find an entry. It's going to be difficult to find I'm not going to find a perfect entry, because if we go to the hourly chart, just to put it into perspective, there's the trend. So on the hourly trend. So when I'm trying to day trade on the short side, I'm going to have to ignore some elements because of rules, because it's not going to have rolled over. But obviously the swing trade is fine. That can leave that one to run and do whatever it's doing. But the day trades is what I want to see if I can find, and I'm just cautious of the of where we are. I can't justify new long trades because there's no long trade setups that I can justify. So it is that short side that I would like to see if we market moves down there, but I've just got to wait and see. So we'll press pause for now. So it's now just on 12 o'clock. It's interesting in that the euro yen's come down a bit, but I can't, as a day trade, I can't find an entry still yet. We've still got a lot of work to do. So still in obviously with the swing, but still a lot of work to do as a day trade. And so just a case of, let me just bring my account over so you can just see what, again, just to reiterate what happened. Obviously it was 900 odd pounds down on that, on the 4 entries that we had this morning at 59, stopped out at 81 by looks of things, and then we've got that one entry in at the moment at 98, and that's running all right at the moment. So it's only one entry because it's the swing. So, and anything could happen just yet, but we have in fact put in quite a nice little reversal pattern at the highs here, with putting in a spinning top and then a close down on a nice red bar on the hourly chart there. So that sort of stands in good stead, but I still need to wait and see how this is all going to play around as far as the higher time frames. So the 15-minute chart is just sort of trying to roll a little bit. 30-minute chart's not quite rolled yet, so there's a lot of work for this to do yet. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think that I very much doubt I'll get to trade before 1:30, and hopefully we can get a trade in this afternoon as a day trade, as far as the day trade is concerned, and then we'll just see how this swing. And I'll start to look later on. If we do come down later, then then we'll look at targets for the swing. But I think an initial target will likely be the hourly 50 MA, which is quite a long way away. So it's good, maybe a couple hundred points away from the entry, at least. Anyway, no, not quite, but still be well over 100 points. So 100, 150 points plus potential. So we'll see about that. But that's obviously more than likely going to take several days to play out, and we'll see how that one pans out. So for now, we're at 16 minutes, so I'm going to press pause, and we'll just see what happens probably after 1:30. Now, I've been off the mic for several hours, just having my lunch at the moment. It's 2:30, and the Euro yen has indeed rolled over from where we were this morning, and it's coming down. So that little swing trade, as you can see now, is up 830 odd pounds. So considering we had that losing trade with 4 units, but this swing, so far at least anyway, is running quite nicely. Got a target down, but I haven't managed to have any more day trades, which is a bit of a shame. And I'd really love to be day trading this, but when you've got a trend which is overall up, as it had been, it means we've got lots of rising support to meet price, which is exactly where we are now. We're just on the 21 moving average, and so we're not lined up enough for me to be able to get in on some of these trades on the short, or trade on the short side. I tried to trade this morning, obviously, got stopped out on that one, as you know. But at that point, there was a little bit more distance and clear air towards the next level of support. We haven't got that now, and that's the problem I have. So we're just going to see how this runs. But overall, on that swing, I'm looking towards this hourly 50 as a general target. I don't know whether it will get there today. It could do, but let's assume it doesn't. If it did, then obviously I don't know how many pips that would be. 150, 160 pips or so, depends on how long it took to get there. But anyway, that's going to be a downside target going into next week. So whatever happens, if we get down to that target, then this trade will be making somewhere around about £1,600 on a single unit. So not a bad little trade. It pays for the loss on the day trade. But shame I haven't been able to find any more day trades as yet. But we'll keep looking, and I'll press pause for now. Okay, I'm going to give a little shot here on the 5 live if we can get there. So we're getting the 5 live, so we'll see if we can get a short against that. So it just hit 24. I'm just seeing if we can get back up there. Okay, 22.9. This is now pure day trade. So see if we can get a couple of entries in. See if we can get a slightly better entry than that. There we go, 24. Just seeing if I want to get more entries. It's such a volatile market at the moment that I want to make sure I'm getting the best price. So if it overruns slightly, then I'll have that. But obviously, as soon as it comes down, I'll try and. It's moving so quickly. So if it comes down back towards the lower band, then I'll be looking to take something off, obviously. Hopefully I've got this running. Yes. We shall see. So get the deal ticket off the screen for a minute, out of the way, so that you can actually see that trade. So these are these 2 entries I've just put in. This is the main short on the swing. These are these 2 entries. So it could be quick because we could relatively quickly come down to sniff that lower band. I'll press pause for a minute.
Okay, we're looking for a blip down to around about, looks like around about 10 or so, he says, just as it comes all the way back up again. It's so volatile at the moment, the price movements as they're moving around. And what I'm actually going to do also is if it does come up a bit high, I've got to give it a bit of room because it's just because it is so volatile. A bit of room means into the 30s, so that's where I would add if it was to come up there. But for now, we're looking for this lower band. Looks like it's around about 10, 11, something like that. It's hard to tell just yet, so I'll press pause for now. Okay, we're getting close, so I'm just going to bring it on now. Here we go, 13s, 14s. I've got to try and guesstimate where this is going to be. I'll take one off here at 12.7. No, it still wasn't quite low enough. Thought that was going to be around about there. I'm having to guesstimate. This will always move ahead of the chart, so I'm guesstimating where that lower band is. It wasn't quite there, actually. So, but we've just taken one off at 12.7. Obviously, we're in at 24 on that, so it was about 12 pips. Now down to about 11s or so, so this is going to be it. There we go. If we can get down to that 10, we were so close. Still not quite hit the bands yet, so I'm just looking for around about 10 or so. There we go. 10s, 9s. That'll do. That should be. We should just see an overrun now. Maybe not. But just had. So let's have a look at the two trades. You're not going to be able to see them because, as such, because here they are here. So we sold short at 22.9 and at 24.4. Bought back at 12. So that was 10 pips off of that one, and 24 down to 9, so 15 pips on that. So it's quite nice because we've rallied off the lows. It just means I've added, I don't know how much that is actually, it's about £200 to the trade, or as a day trade, £200, and it puts me well into profit as it currently stands. Obviously, on the rest of this, considering that was only 2 units, and obviously this is the overall swing. And we'll see how that's going to still play out. So the overall swing's up 800 odd pounds at the moment, but obviously we've still got a long way to go yet before that one plays out. But at least just by nibbling away at a little day trade there, then it captures them. With this sort of volatility, it's quite nice. It happens very quickly, and so we'll see how we go as we go throughout the rest of the day. I'll press pause again. Right, well, look at this. Look at this turnaround. That we've the sound's working. Look at this turnaround we've had on euro yen. Wow, from being up about £200-300 in that trade, to it giving it so much of it back. What I've actually done is I've actually just put a hedge in just as we've come up here. So we've now put this long trade in as well. So I'm hedged. So you'll see that my figure can't change because I've got to make up my mind what I want to do. I think that we're just going to come up to at least up to the daily R3 pivot, which is up at around about 126.28. But I need to see. So what I've done is I've just put this hedge in for now. We haven't got positive momentum, but I mean, wow, look at what a move. So I've put this hedge in, and I can always leave it in for a while, and I'll probably trade a pullback if we pull back. So at the moment, it doesn't matter what way the market moves, I'm completely hedged and at that level, so I can't lose any more. As if I was just to close out both positions, then that's what would happen. I'd be at minus 800. So, but of course, the reason I've done that is I've just remembered I'm going away next week, and of course, there's me sitting here thinking, yeah, lovely. I've got this nice. I'm building this nice swing trade position. Doesn't matter if it goes against me or whatever. Of course, I'm just remembering that I'm not going to be here next week. So, and I don't know where I am, whether I'm going to have the internet available to me to be able to manage my trade. So I just thought to myself, oh, let's get a hedge in for now, and then I can then decide. I'm sure that there probably will be wireless connectivity over there. So, but it does look at the moment that the euro yen wants to go a bit higher. So what I'm going to be looking for is to try and get on the long side. So took some points off on the short side, and now it's a case of seeing if I can get on the long side. So I think we're going to go for a break here. So if I can get an opportunity to get on the long side, then that's what we'll do. I'll press pause for now. Okay, so what we're looking to do is to start to build a long position. As we start to nudge down, I'll build it all the way down into the lower band. So, but start to build it. Just as we come down to the round number, then I'll start to build on the chart there on the outer bands. That's when I'm going to start, and then build it if it comes lower. I don't know if it will come that lower. So at the moment, I'm just gonna. So once I start to build the position, then I become unhedged again, and I become net long. So we'll see. But at the moment, I'm completely hedged. So I'm looking to see if we can get a trade off. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, so we're nearly there. Just about to hit the trigger. No, not quite. I'll press pause again. Okay, so in just about there. Okay, just got 99 there. So I'm now net long. I'm looking to build this position, so we'll see how it gets on. And so if we start coming down, then well, fine, and I'll start to build the position. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, so I'm looking for this to break. Here we go. So what I'll be looking to do is to take that profit on this one, on the position that I got in. So up about 15 pips so far, as he says, as it's playing around. There we go. So we're getting up to that pivot now. So that's what I'm looking for. So we can smash into that daily R1, R3 pivot, and then I'll close out of that for 20 odd points. Here we go. Just nudging it now. So there we go, 25. I'll probably just go a bit higher now. But so what I've done there is I'm still hedged. Look, so I could actually just keep this hedge while I'm away. So I've just made 100 and how many 20 odd pips there. So about £200. Well, I was hedged at 800, weren't we? So I've just made 250 quid just off that little trade there. But I'm still hedged, so I'm still completely flat in the market at the moment, and so I can decide what I want to do. At what point do I want to unhedge and maybe take off this long, which is obviously also in profit at the moment, and then immediately then I'm in a short trade. But obviously I'm in that short trade from wherever it is. But what I've done by doing this other trading today is I've brought the initial loss of £900 down. By doing this extra trading. So it's a case of me saying, okay, well, where do I feel that this is actually going to? We've got a lovely divergence, I believe, on the 4-hourly charts. Let's have a quick check. No, I don't think there is there on the 4-hour charts. No, there's not. But there is on the hourly charts. Let's have a double check. Yeah, there is. But I think we can probably still go higher yet. So I'll have to make a decision on that one at some point. But and as to, I could leave it while I'm away and just keep those positions in, but at the same time, or do I just want to try and get a good feel for where this is going to actually end? So that's what I'm got to think about at the moment. So I'll press pause for a second. Okay, so I've unhedged my position, so that means I've closed the long, and I closed it at 35, and it's still running up. So I've really got to decide whether, considering I'm going away for a week, whether it's worth me holding on to this as much as I'd really want to. But actually, when you think you're going on holiday, it'll be a lot easier to leave the position alone. And so what I'm going to do is I'll close this out. If we hit 126.70, then I'll close it out and just say, okay, never mind, I've had a losing day today here. Trying to put in a swing trade, which I think and I would encourage you to keep your eye on the euro yen on the daily charts and just see where that goes to over the coming week or so, because I think that I was going to be on to quite a nice overall trade, even if it meant that I was going to have to add at about 127 or so, and maybe one towards 128. But that's what I was looking for as a grand plan, and completely didn't think this morning that I was about to go on holiday. So what I'll do is if it does go up there, then I'll close it. If it comes down to the lower band, then I'll close it as well. So that's my plan here. So I'm almost going to treat this as just an exercise in exiting the trade now. So either way, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just put this stop in at 70, 126. No. Oh, let's get rid of this. 126 point. We'll put it in at 68 actually. And like I said, I closed the hedge out at 35, so we need to break back below 35 to get me back to wherever it was, 500 odd pounds down for the day or whatever. But really what I'm going to look for is see if we can come down to the lower band. But overall, I think that's what I'm going to have to do now and just leave it as it is. There's no point in me putting a stop there and just leaving it, because I think I need to close out the position. It's had a lovely run here though, fantastic run. I can't get over that. It's just a bit of a shame it's ended up being a losing day when I probably didn't need to. Otherwise I think I could have traded around this today, but one of those things. So we'll just see if this is either going to shoot up, and when it's got such firepower behind it, it wouldn't surprise me if we carry on. Then if that's the case, then it shoots up, then I'm out, and which it's got about 10 pips to go. And otherwise then I'll close it when it comes to the lower band. So we'll just see, as it's within 8 pips now. But what was I going to mention there? I mean the hedge coming out, or sorry, the long position, sorry, coming exiting at 126.25. That was about right. That was right on where the main daily R3 pivot was. So that was about right. Taking that when I did. So then it was just a case of coming out the hedge about 35 and saying, well, okay, we're all around that level, but it's just overshooting it here. So it's just a case of whether that's going to continue to overshoot and go further, or whether it is going to back off. So we'll just press pause and see how it happens, see where it goes. Okay, so it has indeed come back to stop me out. Now, I'm only down 880. It's only it's just come up to 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. So I'm just wondering actually whether we've got any day trades I could potentially do, which potentially we could do another day trade yet if we do a band play here. So we'll just hold out and see if we can get a day trade off. But so almost back to square one where I was this morning, but it's not exactly too big to worry about. But it would have been nice, obviously, to always deliver a profit, but that's my fault regarding putting a swing trade in. If I hadn't have put the swing trade in, then it would have had it would have been a completely different picture today. Still would have been down a bit, I think. I'm trying to think now. No, yeah, it would have been down a bit. So sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. I'm talking to the guys in the room and talking to yourselves as well. So I'll press pause actually, and we'll just see if we get a pullback. Might still be able to get a little trade off yet. So I'll press start from here. Okay, so I'm just going to start entering some long positions here on the euro yen. Now as day trades, and so just entered one there. So let's have a look. What do we get in here? Fill at 68, and we're going to start to build that position if we come down into the bands. And just to see if we're going to come back up at some point to retest this little high that we've put in here. It's a wonderful move we've had. I'm not necessarily looking for major new highs, we don't have to do that, but just to come up and see if we can get that retest there. So I've just put that one position in. I'm going to see if we can put some more in as the price comes down down towards the bands, if it's going to do that. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. Press pause for a second. Okay, so just moving up a little bit here, guys. I say guys, sorry, to nearly getting back up for that double top, so I'll be looking to take some profit off shortly if it can do it. So looking for a little bit more up there, just see if we can get up to the open of that last candle. So if we can get up to there, then I'll take that one off for that cheeky little trade there based on the some divergence type stuff that's going on. So we'll just see if it's gonna have a little run up there. So it looks like it's going to be I can't remember what the actual level was without actually looking on there. It looks like it's probably around about 78, something like that. So we'll get about another 10 pips out of that if it can do it. Let's just see. Otherwise I'll press pause and if it doesn't do it in the imminent future. Let's see. There it goes. So about to take the profit. So entry was at 68, we're at 77 now. Just see if we can get that extra couple of pips. That's what it needs to do. There it is, 79, closing out, just over 10 pips. Okay, that was a nice little trade. And now it just goes over to 80, so about just over 10 pips there on that one. So what that's done is it's just reduced my loss a little bit there from the day, from that trade this morning, and the fact I had to close out that swing position. And now it's just gone up to 84, so it looks like I was out a little bit early there, but I was only got the one unit in at that point. But it was just a nice little potential for a divergence. Now we're actually coming up to the divergence. We could actually play a divergence. So let's have a look at that. It's just busy at the moment, but it's a very strong market, and as tempting as it is to play the divergence, and I'd come out of a trade as I have done as it diverged there, and it is very tempting to trade that. I think at this time of day, then it makes it it's quite difficult especially with where the market is in general. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, looks like I'm going to play this little band play here on the euro yen. So put a couple in again and see if we can get a little play out of this. The thing is, it's all tightening up really now, so just put a couple in and see if we can get something out of that. I suspect it will probably meander around. There won't be many pips in it, but just have another little crack around here. So we'll just see if it's going to come down there, and then we'll be looking to hit that. Nearly there. Come on then, get down there. Oh, I saw 70, but I've not seen the white lines hit yet. Flashed to there on here, and that obviously would have been alright, but we need to see that white line hit. So let's just see if oh yeah, okay, got the recording working. See if we can blip down again, and this time see the actual lines hit. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to press pause for a second. Okay, they are getting close now. Just as I press record again, it's blipped up. But it looks like we're getting close to the line, so let's see if we can get down there and see if we can get some orders in. I still think it's good enough to probably try and play this band. If we can blip down there, we'll start getting some orders in. Get up to get a few in. And then I've got another trade setting up as well yet. So there's still a couple of trades left. Yeah, and it's 4:30 on a Friday afternoon. Don't often get this on a Friday. Let's get that one in. See if we've hit. Looks like we've hit. There's another one. Oh, okay, right, another one. And the thing is, this range is so big. Oh, there we go. See if we can. Oh, it's going to get stuck. I'll have to shut that down and reopen it. Sometimes it gets stuck. Once it goes yellow like that, I can't get it reopened. Had to shut down and reopen my platform there. It's just opening up at the moment. Here it comes. Cheeky little monkey it was. Oh, there it goes. It's coming down anyway. So let's see if we can get another one in. I think we got another one in there. Yep. And all it's doing is playing this band, and it's just from the first entry at 70. Look, we're already 10 pips off. Just shows you the size of the range. I mean, it looks like a tiny little smidgen on there. So we've got a few in there. So that's 4. I might even get another one in a second. Yeah, let's get one in at 62, and then we'll see how we get on here. I'll press pause. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be coming up into that. So it's a nice profitable trade so far. So we'll see if we can get closer towards the upper band and see if we can get something out of this one. So looks like that's the case. So here we go. Okay, 71s, take one off there as we're coming up. Oh, it's still not quite up there yet. 72s. Still not up there yet, so let's just see if we can get there. There we go. 75.5. No, still not there. Okay. Let's see if we can get up there. What I'll do is just manage the stop and move it up to the low there, which was around about 62. But for now, just see if we can get this little blip up to the upper band. I was watching prices over here and not looking at the actual picture. But let's see if we can get up there towards the upper band. It's 433, so at some point this is going to move down this upper band, and sometimes we've just seen 74, 75, and sometimes you won't get any better price, but we'll just see if that is going to be the case. So so far, let's just see if we can get that extra bit of profit out of that move. I think the entry, this was the first entry at 70.2, so off this entry it's not going to be very much, but off the back-ended entries it was alright. Let's just see if we can get there. Little blip now, a couple of pips and that would do it. Very close, especially as we're getting close to the switch over. We've still got a minute to go. Go for that band. And now I'm sitting here with the recording going. It probably won't, so not while we're waiting, so I'll just press pause. Okay, looks like it's going to be there. 76, there we go. I'll take it at 77 because I can't tell. It looks like it was about there. So well, that little trade is just only a little trade, but it's brought us down to minus 400 now. So you can just clip away at it, and the mistakes from this morning, and we're rectifying those as much as possible. And this is how you can do it, as long as you have the patience to wait for the setups. So that's what I'm doing. And so I didn't quite get to the upper band there, so it was out a little bit on the early side. Let's have a look at the prices. Yeah, 77. So definitely a bit early there on that chart. It still looks like it hasn't hit. I thought 77 was going to be it. But then sometimes, like you say, that band has come down now and still not hit quite. Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking at that 15 minute chart, and if it comes down to the 15-minute bands, there's going to be another play here on the 15-minute bands yet, and it's 4:35 in the afternoon. Oh, you in a cable trade, are you? Oh, right, okay. You looking to run it, are you? Oh, what, up to the 4 p.m. pivot area? Oh, okay. I just played the bands on the Euro Yen there. Sorry, I had to switch the sound off for the recording. I didn't know how many points were going to be in it, and that's why I didn't call it on this occasion. I just traded it in the video update. Oh God, I just realised I've still got the recording equipment going. Oops. Okay, right. I'm going to have to call it a day on this. I think it's 20 to 5, and let's turn the room off. It's 20 to 5, and I've really got to get this video out to you. And so we had that trade there. So down 400 quid for the day, which is not bad at all considering the mistakes I've made. But again, this is just why I love doing the video updates on a Friday, because I show you warts and all, everything just based on the trade size that I do there on a Friday, so that you can see what I'm doing, the mistakes I'm making, and obviously the days, and so often the time I'm having some real crackers. And so we've had a good few little trades there today, a few little profitable ones, which has pulled back that loss from being 900 odd pounds down to only 400 down. And well, it was 900 odd pounds, plus I took more loss on the swing trade, so that would have took it to about, well, it would have been around about 1400 pounds down. But by having these other little day trades in and amongst that took it from being 1400 pounds down to 400 pounds down. So quite a small losing day, really. So I've got to get this out to you. I hope you have enjoyed it and frowned at me taking trades, realizing that I'm going away on holiday and things like that. So but overall the markets have been here today not easy, because they've been volatile, beautiful volatility there on the Euro Yen today. Wanted to trade it all day, but had that lovely run down, and we're doing really nice on that swing at that point. But you couldn't day trade that, or it was very difficult to day trade. All right, we got that little J trade in down here off the bands, and then I got long around about here. I think it was at 126. Took about 25 pips on that, and then came out the hedge at 126.35, and then came out, got stopped out of that swing, and then just took this little band play. So lots of activity today, but not been anything that concrete, because the momentum has been all over the place. So it's just one of those days, really. But anyway, I hope it's been of use to you, and I'll be back in touch 2 weeks' time.